You won't believe what just happened to Terence Creative. The comedian who always leaves Kenyans laughing has now left the entire nation in absolute shock after a single Facebook post turned into a full-blown firestorm.
Jambo wa Kenya, niko hapa kueleza kwamba poleni sana. Kuna post ambayo nimeweka pale kwa Facebook yangu na imewakwaza haswa jamii ya Wakisii.
What started as a joke spiraled into accusations of tribal disrespect and angry reactions and even public condemnation from influencer Sammy Boy. But that is not all.
Nawapenda sana pamoja na viongozi wenu, na mimi si mkabila na hakuna siku hata moja nitasimama kwa pande ya ukabila.
Wait until you see how Terence broke down and issued a tearful apology to the entire Kisii community, saying this: poleni sana wa Kisii wote, naomba msamaha sana. Was it genuine remorse or damage control after things got way too hot to handle? Stay tuned, because what happens next is going to leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about Terence Creative.
Poleni sana, sikujua itawakwaza, na poleni hata nyinyi ambao mmenifuata, mnajua sijaweka kitu kama hii wakati mwingine. Poleni sana sana, nawapenda sana Wakisii wote na viongozi wenyu, na ninawaheshimu. Poleni sana. Accept my apology, my sincere apologies.
The internet is absolutely buzzing right now, and hundreds of thousands of Kenyans are talking about this. Some are angry, some are very disappointed, others are calling for him to be completely deplatformed. And the question everyone is asking is, how did we get here? How did one of Kenya's most successful comedians go from making us laugh to making us question everything we thought we knew about him?
Please, poleni sana. Very sorry. I say no tribalism. I will never be a tribalist, and I've never been. And I ask for forgiveness from the Kisii community. I'm very, very sorry. Please.
But before we get into the explosive details, let me take you back, because this story is connected to something much bigger happening in Kenyan politics right now. You see, on the exact same day that Terence posted his controversial message on Facebook, something massive was happening in Kisii County. Former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i was making headlines. The Jubilee Party had just endorsed him as their flag bearer for the 2027 presidential elections. And picture this: Governors Simba Arati and Amos Nyaribo, Senators Richard Onyonka and Okongo Omogeni, MPs, MCAs and thousands of supporters all gathered together. The energy was electric, and the Kisii community was celebrating. They were finally rallying behind one of their own for the highest office in the land. This wasn't just another political rally, my friends. This was historic. The Abagusi community, with over 3 million people, were making a statement to the entire nation. We are united, we are ready, and we are backing our son Fred Matiang'i for the presidency. But then, as celebrations were reaching their peak, as the Kisii community was basking in this moment of pride, something happened that will turn everything upside down. Terence Creative, sitting somewhere, probably scrolling through his phone, watching the news and seeing Matiang'i's endorsement, decided to post something on his Facebook page, and what he wrote would trigger one of the fastest and most intense backlashes you have seen in the Kenyan social media history. Here is exactly what he posted, word for word: assume huyo Mkisii amechukua kiti 2027, sasa nipangie hiyo cabinet. Now, let me translate that for those who don't speak Swahili. Assume that Kisii person has taken the seat in 2027. Now, arrange that cabinet for me. Those words hit the internet like a bomb, and within minutes, the post started spreading like wildfire. Screenshots were flying everywhere, and WhatsApp groups were exploding. But here is what made this even more explosive: the timing. And remember, this was just posted the exact same day that Matiang'i had been endorsed, and the Kisii community had just finished celebrating. They were on cloud 9, and they see this post referring to their presidential candidate as huyo Mkisii, meaning that Kisii person, and he was being reduced to nothing more than just his ethnicity. But that is not all, because what happened next, the way Kenyans responded and the influencers who got involved, and Terence's wife stepping in, you need to hear this. The response was immediate and it was brutal. Kenyans from all corners of the country started flooding the comment section. People were furious and they were calling him out. They were demanding for answers. How could you, Terence? This is pure tribalism. You have crossed a line and we trusted you. And follow this man right now. The anger wasn't just coming from the Kisii community. Kenyans from every tribe were expressing their disappointment. Here is the thing. Terence Creative has always positioned himself as someone who brings people together. His comedy has never been tribal. He has always been seen as a unifier, someone who transcends ethnic lines. But this post, it felt like betrayal. It felt like he was reducing Fred Matiang'i, a man who served as Cabinet Secretary for Education, ICT and Interior, a man for his iron-fisted leadership and discipline, to nothing more than just a Kisii person. And then the big guns started getting involved. Influencers with massive following began speaking out, and one name in particular started trending alongside Terence Creative, Sammy Boy. But here is where things got even more intense, because Terence did not respond immediately. The post stayed up on his Facebook page, and with every hour that passed, the anger grew stronger. People started digging through his past posts. They were looking for patterns. Has he done this before? Is this who he really is? The court of public opinion was in full session and the verdict wasn't looking good. Calls for him to be deplatformed started gaining traction, and Kenyans were saying, if he doesn't apologize, we are done with him. We are unfollowing him and we are unsubscribing. We are taking away the platform we gave him. Some people even started pointing out the irony. Here is a man who built his entire career on bringing joy to all Kenyans. Papa Fred, his most famous character, is loved across tribal lines. His Wash Wash series was watched by millions and his comedy transcended boundaries. And then after hours of silence, after the backlash had reached fever pitch, Terence Creative finally responded. On Friday, October 31st, 2025, just hours ago, as I record this video, Terence posted something that nobody was quite expecting, an apology letter. But this wasn't just any apology. This was an emotional, detailed, heartfelt plea for forgiveness. First, he took to Instagram. He posted a written statement, and let me read to you exactly what his words said. My apologies to the Kisii community in general about a previous post that had been posted on my Facebook page. Naomba msamaha sana. I didn't mean any harm. Nawapenda sana na nawaheshimu pamoja na viongozi wenyu. But he didn't stop there. He went further and said, I am not tribal and I have never been at any point taking sides along ethnic lines. I did not know that the post would hurt anyone. Even my followers know that I have never posted anything like that before. So I apologize sincerely. I love all Kisii people and their leaders, and I respect you all. But wait, there is more, because the written apology wasn't enough. Terence then posted a video, an actual video of himself speaking directly to the camera, his voice filled with emotion and his face showing the weight of what he had done. In the video he said, "Hello Kenyans, I want to apologize sincerely for the post I made on my Facebook page, which deeply upset the Kisii community. I remind you that I love the Kisii people and respect your leaders." He explained that he doesn't engage in tribalism, and he clarified that he has never taken sides along ethnic lines. He emphasized that he had no idea the post would cause such hurt. He pointed out that anyone who follows him knows he never posted anything like this before. But here is where the story gets even more complicated, because even as Terence was apologizing, even as he was trying to make amends, something else was happening behind the scenes. His wife Milichebi saw the brutal backlash her husband was receiving. She saw the hate, she saw the anger, the calls for him to be deplatformed, and she couldn't just sit by and watch. Millie took to her own Facebook page and she began pleading with Kenyans to forgive her husband. She was defending him, standing by him, and asking for mercy. But here is the twist. Her intervention actually made things worse. Some Kenyans felt her tone was wrong. They said she sounded snobbish, that she was being defensive instead of understanding why people were hurt. Comments started flooding her page too. People were saying forgiveness must never be entitled. Remorse is felt from the way one talks and behaves. You are directing your energy to the wrong audience. So what happens to Terence Creative now? Can he recover from this? Will his career survive? Here is the thing. Terence has built something substantial over the years. He's not just a comedian. He's a content creator, a businessman, and a brand. He has the Wash Wash series. He has Papa Fred. He has millions of followers who gave him support all these years. But trust is hard to rebuild. It takes years to build and seconds to destroy. And right now, a lot of Kenyans' trust in Terence Creative has been shaken. If he wants to recover, well, he needs to do more than just apologize. He'll need to demonstrate his commitment to unity. Maybe he creates content that celebrates all Kenyan communities. Maybe he uses his platform to fight tribalism, and maybe he becomes an advocate for the very thing he has been accused of violating. His wife Millie Chebi will likely stand by him. She has already shown that. But even she needs to understand that defending your spouse doesn't mean dismissing the legitimate heart of others. The next few weeks and months will be critical. Will Terence stay silent? Will he keep posting content, and will he address this thing again? How he handles this crisis will determine whether he comes out stronger or whether his reputation is permanently damaged. Terence Creative's apology to the Kisii community will go down as one of the most talked about moments of 2025. Whether it's accepted or rejected, whether he recovers or falls, one thing is certain. This incident has taught us all something valuable. It has taught us to think before we post, to consider the impact of our words, to recognize that in a country as beautifully diverse as Kenya, we all have a responsibility to build bridges and not to burn them. The Kisii community deserves respect. The Luo community deserves respect. The Kikuyu community deserves respect, and every community in Kenya deserves respect. And when we fail to give that respect, we should be ready to face the consequences. As we move towards 2027, let's hope that this incident serves as a wake-up call, not just for Terence, not just for celebrities, but for all of us. Let's choose our words carefully, and let's celebrate our diversity instead of weaponizing it. Let's build a Kenya where every community feels proud, valued, and heard. What do you think about this situation? Do you accept Terence Creative's apology? Should he face further consequences? And is this cancel culture gone too far? Or is this accountability in action? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown valuable, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, because trust me, this story is far from over. This is your host signing off. Stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, in the age of social media, your words have power. Use them wisely.